What's up, everybody? Episode of Hobby with Cage brought to you by Arena Club and Bleaker Trading, and possibly you. Uh, Having some fun here on a Tuesday. Got the news out. Hopefully, you guys check that out. That's a fun one. And, always stuff going on in the hobby, man. Always stuff going on in the hobby. And today, I kind of, I was sitting there, I was talking to somebody today, and I was, 10, 20 minutes into the conversation, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta do an episode. I gotta do an episode because it's someone I've known in the hobby for a long time, and you could just tell that they are deflated. They're deflated. They're not happy. I want to say maybe they made a mistake, but it got me thinking about the space because the content that's out there now, it's interesting. I don't see as much of the rah-rah card content. I see a lot of gotcha content. I see a lot of clickbait content. Hell, I'm guilty of it myself, guys. You know that. I'll call a spade, right? But you don't see a lot of the same stuff that was out there during the bull run. Yeah, we see some breaking content, of course. Oh, these guys hit this, these guys hit this, these guys hit that. Great. The snake skin, diamond skin, elephant ball, 1 of 1 CJ Stroud got pulled this week, and everybody's supposed to be excited about it. And yeah, that stuff's still out there, right? But I see a lot of forced educational content. I see a lot of interesting things. But what's fun about it is if you read between the lines, you realize what's going on, right? You realize that there are some big companies out there that need more money. They need more people to come in. Right? So you get educational content, you get this stuff because that's what the machine wants. I'm going to take it the exact opposite direction. And I'm going to talk about some of the things the machine doesn't realize is a huge bar to entry. Forget about a learning curve for this hobby, right? People are brought in here out of something pure. You come to the space out of a love for the cardboard, a love for the sport, some sort of nostalgia, something you remember doing when you were a kid, something that draws you in, a passion. Hell, go watch Stacking Slabs content or, Hoj when he's talking about not Jordans, the other stuff that he's seeing, or Cardboard Chronicles, or a million people, right? PC with DPZ when he's talking about his Griffies, or Spinatron when he's talking about nonsense. Yeah, everybody's a fan of something, right? So there's true passion. But the people I just mentioned, they've been here forever. They've studied the game. They know the intricacies. And the folks that are coming in now, they're met with a humongous brick wall that's right up against their face that they have to climb every time they just want to come in and do something nostalgic. Every time they want to come in and throw their money down, there are landmines. Remember that Minesweeper game? There are landmines everywhere, and it's very difficult to navigate the space. It's very tough to navigate the space. You almost have to make mistakes. You almost have to, be punished by the space. It's like I either win or I learn. I don't lose, right? Muhammad Ali, right? Well, guess what? Some of those lessons, some of those learnings in the hobby are real painful. Somebody sent me a message, and this is what I'm talking about, guys, right? What makes this hobby great also makes this hobby tough and makes it hard for people to stay. I got messages from people who I tried to bring in who are already gone. Not just the pump and dumps and the star that I talked about going up and down and just the crazy pricing and the stuff that the underbelly you don't know about and the history of it, but just easy stuff, right? Easy stuff. Somebody sent me a message and said, look at this card. How can that card have that Tom Brady auto on it? That's obviously an aftermarket auto that got put on there. And that's absurd, and they shouldn't be selling it like that. And I look at the picture and I wrote back, but don't you see that the slab says BAS? It's not a typical Beckett slab that has an auto grade in the box or on the back on the older ones. It's got a card grade. No, it's got a BAS slab. That flip on there, that means that it is grading it as an aftermarket auto, that means that the auto was not pack pulled like that. It's like, oh, I didn't know that. I knew there was something going on with it, but guess what? Not everybody sends me a message, because people who are coming in the hobby don't know who the hell I am yet. I can't be the guide to all of you guys to explain this stuff. But that type of nuance, that type of small little thing, someone might buy that card thinking, hey, this is the same as one of these pack pulled autos. And they're going to take a big L on it. And the price that they're paying for that loss, sure, they learned. But they don't just learn, they learn and they leave school and they go find someplace else to spend their money. It would be like someone getting into crypto and being rugged in the first day, like a Haktua. My money's in, and it's gone, like the South Park episode. It's not just that card. Somebody sent me a message saying, you should do an episode on this. And it was a Kobe Bryant game-used jersey upper deck card that had a brilliant patch. And they wrote all these patches with napkins. There was never a patch like this. This patch is ridiculous. And it's slabbed up and it looks authentic and it's blah, blah, blah. And I didn't even look to see where it was, whether it was for sale somewhere, whether it was in an auction. I don't even know. I don't want to know, because I know what I don't know. And I don't know enough about every single Kobe upper deck game auto card, game jersey card that was made, that I can't tell you that there might not be one out there that looks this good. This guy seemed pretty confident, but maybe it's a jersey swap. I have no idea. I know there are cards where the jersey is swapped. Heck, look at the LeBron Exquisite. And there's a whole checklist of what they looked like and what they look like now. And we've seen it on a myriad of cards. But you know what? If you're the Fanatics target audience, or any company's target audience, to bring in someone new, some new blood, some new money, someone who wants to come in, someone who is reading about the space, saw the publicity, hell, went to Fan Fest in New York in June, spent some time with their kids, saw a box of cards, bought it, and now wants to come in and buy this awesome, I'm going to say Kobe card or whoever card. And they buy it and they put down a bunch of money, and then maybe they go to sell it, or maybe they go to show it off, or who knows what. And someone says to them, that jersey's fake. That card is crap. That no one's going to buy it. That's a lump. It's hard enough to get somebody into this hobby. Then it's hard to keep them here, especially if they're getting hit over the head with, well, if it has that flip, it says this and this. And I got another guy who bought a card, and it was autographed on a card, and the flip said trading card on it. Now, I think PSA is no longer doing this. Good for them. But there's plenty of them out there in circulation. And he bought the card, had the auto. Turned out the card's not a real version of the card. It's just a replica, and that happens a lot. We've seen those, Otani cards in auction that look like they're the auto, but they're just, like a turn back the clock kind of, whatever they call them. And people spend money thinking they're getting an Otani auto, and it's not. It's just a card that has like a facsimile auto. It's like it's amazing because, yeah, we want to do educational content, but I don't care how many hours you got to live it. This hobby has a hell of a learning curve. And when you sprinkle on top of all that nuance, the fact that there are some bad actors out there, the fact that there are people slabbing those turn back the clock cards, people who are putting these trading cards with autos on them and slabbing them up and trying to pass them off as real cards, cleaning cards and dunking cards and trimming cards. I mean, we're not even go down the rabbit hole of all the craziness that's there. It's a real interesting space. And every once in a while, it gets you down. Now, I talk to a bunch of people, a lot of people, and I try to bring new people into the space. I show them my cards. I say, look at this one, look at this cool card. Or, I show them, look at this card I bought, or look at these cards that are up for auction, or, hey, who do you like? And they say, where do I buy the cards? Do I have to go to a card show? Is it the only way to, to do it? I say, no, you can go on auctions, and I send them auction sites. But I can't hold their hand in the auctions. I can't say, when you go on eBay, like, you got to watch out for this, and that. Like, I try. But there's no way to cover all of the nuance. And the stuff that I just talked to you about, this is all stuff that has been sent to me this week. It's crazy. It really is. It's crazy to think about, because every once in a while, maybe you take a step back and you say, all right, I was going to spend 10 grand here. Am I better off putting it somewhere else? Would I have more fun doing something else with it? Should I trust it to CBLS's algorithm and have some action on the games? Should I put it in the stock market? I should get my phone and log in, Ian's stock account because it is up. The stocks are doing better than the cards are by a long shot, especially with our recent PSA returns. Not so good. But Google, he bought Google, put almost the whole account in Google. I think he bought Google at 150. It was like almost 190 today, a month or two later. I mean, he's crushing it. Hard, right? It's hard to now, there are people out there listening and say, I don't give a shit about that. I like my cards. I love you guys. I do. But let's have some fun and let's be honest with each other. And let's tell some real stories. I was building a set for a PSA set registry. I'll tell you guys what it is now. Because it's whenever Rick Probstein gets it and decides he wants to put it up for sale, it'll be on eBay. It'll be a set break. He won't list it as that. Who knows what it'll get listed as. But it's a set break. And it is currently, I think, the number 4 or 5 or 3. It's a top set registry. But you know what? I stopped trying to make it. A couple years ago, I would take raw cards, I would grade them, and I'd get 10s and build them up towards my registry. A couple things changed. Number one, it got more expensive to grade. And number two, the last 2 submissions I sent in with these cards, getting them from the same place, opening them up, the same way that I did. 110 cards, no 10s. It's hard to build the set. It's hard to build this. And I'm just money after money. And you know what? As a set builder, which is what I was as a kid, this was a fun set. I wanted to complete it. There's no 10 set of these. So that's, a little backdrop there. It's hard to get 10s. They're not the easiest cards to grade, but I had a lot of 10s. There's going to be a bunch of them coming up for sale soon. But today, I decided I had enough. I'm not going to build that set anymore. I am going to sell it all off, probably take a loss because that's what happens when you're overpaying, trying to build a set, trying to put it together, buying raw, getting them graded, paying extra grades, 9s. And, maybe when you buy a 10 here and there, you're overpaying it and, you're not going to get that back. But I decided today that I'm going to sell all those cards and whatever I get from them, and I'll put it towards something bigger. That's consolidation. And that's going on a lot in this space. But here's the problem. The cards that I sell, I'll probably get less for than what I paid. But someone's going to buy them. Maybe another set builder. Maybe somebody else is building the set. Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe just one here, one there, one here, one there. What happens now? It's sort of like a pyramid. Now, I'm not talking about a pyramid scheme, but you could think of it that way. I don't know. I lived in an area that had some pyramid schemes going on as a kid. And the way they work, of course, is, people put money in on the bottom, and after that bottom level fills up, you move up, you put money until the top, and you're getting all the money on the top, and then you come back and you move back to the bottom. And you become part of the pyramid. It keeps going. But ultimately, those pyramids fail when you're unable to keep filling the bottom. It works nicely when you keep putting more people in the bottom until you one day get to the top. Right now, the world of Jordans is exactly the greatest one of these that there is, right? Because there are people who are on the bottom, they've moved up, they've consolidated their cards until they eventually get to the top card. But being able to do that, moving up the Jordan hierarchy, you need somebody to keep coming in and buying those cards on the bottom. You need more people to come in. You need people who are willing to pay more and more for these cards. You got to continue to increase the universe of Jordan buyers. I use that as an easy one because right now it's the only one that's actually working. But because of all the stuff I talked about, because of all the burden of entry, because of all the difficulty there, the education has to be done. Thank goodness for, House of Jordans and, Cajun Cardboard and the education and the content they put out. That's one area that you can actually get some content on and learn. But even there, difficult barrier to entry, price. But how can that be sustained if we're not continuously putting more people into the space? Not just Jordan people who become Jordan people. Because I got to tell you, I don't think we're adding that many people. No amount of educational content about what a slab is going to do that. I really don't think we're adding that many people. And I think when we do add people, this space has this interesting way of chasing them away quickly. I don't have an answer. It's easy to come on and talk about problems and not give a solution. I don't have a solution. I really don't. I know that sucks. You want me to give the fix. Wax prices are too damn high. Breaking is crazy. You're not getting anywhere near your money back when you open a box of cards nowadays. You can go out and buy the cards you want, but there's several pitfalls there. Who knows what you're getting? Who knows if you got to overpay or whatever the story is. I don't know how you fix it. I don't know how you bring more people in. Because the vast majority of people I'm talking to, and some of them have been here for a while, they get a little disenfranchised, I'll call it. And they say, you know what? This is a space that I'm spending my money in. I'm coming here to have fun. I'm coming here to escape the daily. But the daily here has become something that I want to escape. Not me personally, but I think like this every now and again. It's an interesting thing, right? Because I always thought one day I'd finish working in the private sector, retire, and then get a job in the hobby. And I often think to myself, what would that job be? What would be the ideal job for Cage? Who would I work for? What hobby company? What would I like to do? I don't know the answer. That's two stumps during one episode for answers I don't have. But one of the things I think about is the space itself. How it's changed in the last couple of years. It shouldn't be surprising. I think the going was easier when everybody was making money. And when the money's not as frothy, except in certain little pockets, people get taken advantage of. Sure. Lessons get learned. The thing that this hobby does not have, for the most part, is we're not a space that somebody's really going to give a second chance to. And you get somebody who comes in and buys one of those cards and it's a fake. You get somebody who comes in and just, gets hit over the head with a patch swap or an aftermarket auto they didn't know was an aftermarket auto. Just one of those things, you're just going to lose them. They're gone. They're just going to leave. Not to mention the fact that they're probably going to buy something emotionally that was being talked up by somebody instead of, and buying it too high, and then they're going to be sitting there with a card that they overpaid for. That doesn't just happen in the hobby. It happens all over the place. But it's hard to grow this space. And if we can't grow the space, how do we keep filling in the bottom layer of that pyramid? I guess some people would say the gambling aspect of it, right? The fact that there's, breaking to happen. It's entertaining. The repacks are fun. And yeah, I think that has sustained the space for a little while. I don't know whether or not that is, continuing to grow. I don't know whether or not that's, really what the hobby can be based on. Ultimately, the cards still have to mean something. You still have to want to have people who want to own the cards. And I'll just finish it with this, right? It's nice to open up a pack of cards and say, this is what I want. I remember opening 85 tops, 86 tops, 87 tops. being excited that I was able to put the wood border Conseco with the cup on the ledge of my bed. Hey, look at that! I got it. And I put it next to the Mattingly. Had a bunch of Grand Slams that year, and I put it next to. And I owned some cards. I didn't have them in plastics, and I remember going out and trying to trade with people and be like, "These cards are all demolished. Who cares?" I was happy I got the card. That was a different time, and there was nothing really to chase. There was no chases in those. But you were opening the pack to try to get a card of the guy you wanted to get. Think about that for a second. When was the last time you bought a box of cards for that reason? Because I saw a cool story of somebody who, I don't know, did he help his friend buy a car or something like that? And in exchange, the guy gave him 2 boxes of holiday cards. And the guy who got the 2 boxes of the holiday cards got the Paul Skeens Holiday 1 of 1, the gold border 1 of 1 holiday. Cool card. Something I would love to get also, with Ian. But you get this 1 of 1, and immediately the next page, you swipe. I think it was on top. Top might have posted this. It's like this guy is getting married, and he's going to use this to help pay for a honeymoon. That's the chase card. That's the big card. No one's opening that card to hope to get that card. People are opening those boxes to hope to get the money that a card like that brings. And that card will probably be, recycled as many times as the Black 1 of 1 Chronicles Justin Herbert, which seems to come up for auction every month. It's interesting. I don't have the answers. I wish I did, but every once in a while you just come on here and talk about where your brain is. And today my brain was, I'm going to stop building a set that I've been building for for years and just cash it in and maybe consolidate and move up and buy one bigger item with the money I get for that set instead of kill and build it. It's a sad day. I would have liked to build a set, but I've really failed miserably. And I'm not going to dumb it down. I'm not going to do PSA 8s and PSA 9s just because I'm just not. That's it. There's the deal. I have no better answer for you. I don't want to do it. So, guys, there's an episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Be careful out there. If you happen to be somebody who's facing one of those, like, I'm going to buy a card, but I have some questions on it, go ahead and message me. Send me a DM. And I'll answer questions. I do it all the time. We'll have some fun. Yeah. So there's your episode for today, brought to you for free by Bleecker Trading and Arena Club. Talk to you guys soon. We'll do another one of these soon. Maybe Thursday. Talk to you guys soon. Take care, everybody.